to the Original Brew Collective podcast. We are here and we are on episode number 9.
Episode 9.
So if you are tuning in for the first time, what we usually do is we usually have one beer, one brew from a different brewery that we review, and we have a variety of topics that we call our brewery talk that we talk about. But today, it's a little different. So what do we got going on today?
Spicing things up.
We're spicing things up today.
Today, we are going to be drinking 3 different beers from 3 different breweries, pairing them with Girl Scout cookies.
Beer and cookies.
Yeah.
Craft beer and cookies.
What a beautiful collaboration.
I know, this is amazing.
Yeah. So actually, we're going to be going down the line, starting from Ben, go in my direction. So 1, 2, 3, and we have the cookies already pre-selected for which one we're going to be pairing with. So Ben, why don't you tell us about beer number 1?
Yeah, so the first beer that we're going to be cracking open is Black Mamba, and it is a black ale from Mumford Brewing. And this is actually their flagship beer. And Mumford Brewing is based in LA. It was founded in 2015 by brothers Peter and Todd Mumford. And apparently Peter was he was working in Napa. He was a research scientist at the wineries there. And him and his brother, they did a lot of home brewing together, and then they just decided to make it legit.
Why not?
Yeah, so it was Peter, Todd, and then Todd's wife, Tien Mumford, that opened the they have the brewing equipment as well as the tasting room on one site in LA. So that's Mumford Brewing. So that's the first one that we will be cracking open. And then we have Avery Brewing, which is a barrel-aged vanilla bean stout from Avery Brewing. And this one, Avery Brewing, is founded in Boulder, Colorado, and it opened in 1993. And when the craft beer scene was kind of just starting, and Adam Avery was the founder of it, and that's kind of all I know about that brewery, but I'm excited to try that one as well. Yeah. And
our third brewing company, the third beer we're going to be tasting, is Alvarado Street. We've discussed them before. Have we tasted them before on the podcast?
Alvarado, yeah, that was the first one. We did One Giant Leap.
One Giant Leap, incredible beer. Wow,
so
that was a good one.
And we've talked about them too.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into that one. Go watch episode 1 if you haven't yet. That was such a good beer.
Really good.
One of the best triples I've probably ever had.
Alvarado has such good beer.
So we've never had this one. This is Tayberry, which is a kettle sour from Alvarado Street, coming in at 5% ABV. Like I said, we've never had this one. Tayberry. Yeah. I was kind of, what's a Tayberry? It is a hybrid berry between a blackberry and a raspberry. So really excited to try this one.
Is that a real thing?
I believe so. It's the
nice.
Doing a quick.
I'm sure it is. That actually makes sense.
What were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say we've had together the sour, the blueberry sour.
Biggie's Blueberry Bonanza.
Yeah, something like that, and that was really good.
Brunch Bonanza.
Yeah. It was a
Biggie's Blueberry Brunch Bonanza.
Yeah, it was something like that. But so we know Alvarado has great sour. So
yeah,
I'm just excited to.
They make
to try
really good beer. No question about that. So just to clarify now, beer number 1 is going to be Black Mamba, which is, as Ben said, a dark ale with coffee. We're going to be pairing that one with, let me line up the glasses here, the Thin Mints, classic Thin Mints. We're going to be pairing the barrel-aged vanilla bean stout with the peanut butter cups. And then we're going to be pairing the Tayberry, the sour. This one might seem a little interesting, but we wanted to do kind of at least one contrasting pairing. So we're going to be doing the Tayberry mixed with the s'mores cookie. Nice. So imagine yourself picking berries while camping, eating them, and then roasting a s'more.
That's a pleasant thing to think of.
So it makes sense in a way. We want to do a contrary tasting. I mean, these two, the first two, I feel like they're kind of obvious. Something you'd kind of think, like, oh, with those cookies, you're going to want some sort of stout. Or, in that case, a dark ale. But, so I'm really excited about all 3. And as I mentioned, the Tayberry, the sour might be a little interesting. But I think it's all across the board. I think it's going to be pretty good. But let's find out.
Yeah.
Let's crack them open, and let's start pairing.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Yeah. So for those of you who are listening via podcast and not currently watching on YouTube, once again, we're going to be trying 3 different beers, pairing them with some Girl Scout cookies. Beer number 1 will be Black Mamba from Mumford Brewing Company in LA, California. This is a dark ale with coffee, coming in at 8.24 ABV. It's got a really cool dark can with what looks like snake skin printing on it, and it is clearly an ode to Kobe Bryant. Can number 2 will be Avery Brewing Company in Boulder, Colorado. It's a barrel-aged vanilla bean stout, coming in at 10.5 ABV. Simple white label with vanilla bean on the label. And then our final beer and final brewery that we're going to be tasting today is Alvarado Street Tayberry, which is a kettle sour, coming in at 5% ABV. Simple black label with a Tayberry on it. All right, so now that we have all 3 beers poured out, just kind of taking a look across the board. We'll go by each one. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. So we'll go across the board. So let's start with Black Mamba from Mumford in LA. When we initially poured this, decent amount of head retention. It did fizzle out a little quickly compared to other beers that we've tried on this, but no complaints. Still some decent head retention. If I give it a swirl, and keep in mind this is not a stout, this is a black ale. Doesn't seem to coat the glass too much, like how you would expect from a stout. So it's a little deceiving because you look at it, and I'm used to seeing that color being
you would think it's a stout.
You think it's a stout, but it's not. So you kind of need to honestly adjust your expectations when it comes to certain aspects of this beer and how it looks and different, like I said, different aspects of it. But yeah, that's what I'm getting off of just the initial pour and what we're looking at. Like I said, we're going to go down the line. While I do have it poured out, we'll kind of discuss each one, and then we'll get into the nose. Let's go into the nose right now, I guess, for each one, and then go along that way. Definitely coffee. Not as strong and bold of coffee like on the nose as I would have expected.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I'm getting coffee on it.
I'm not getting a whole lot more than just the coffee. I'm not complaining about it.
Maybe like a light roast coffee, possibly?
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's really the only...
It's coffee.
Only thing
I like the smell of coffee.
I do too. I love the smell of coffee.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite smells.
Yeah, no complaints there. Just while we do have these freshly poured, I'd like to touch on these, the other 2. So this is the barrel-aged vanilla bean stout from Avery, Boulder, Colorado. Head retention, I mean, as you can see, it's still, at least on my glass, it's still lasting. So stronger head retention on this one. Let's see on the glass. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can see in the video, but definitely leaving... definitely coating the glass more so than we were with the Mamba.
The color of these 2 are pretty dang similar.
Yeah, and so the color...
Between the vanilla bean stout and the black Mamba, they're very similar.
Yeah, so going back to the black Mamba, when we're looking at the color, I mean, it's as dark as, maybe slightly darker, but it reminds me of like Coca-Cola. You know?
Yeah.
The color.
Definitely. That's a good description of it.
So going back now to the barrel-aged vanilla bean stout from Avery. Like Ben mentioned, similar color. I almost want to say this is darker.
It is darker.
Yeah,
it does look darker.
This is pretty black. Very slight brown tint to it, so it's not like pitch black, but really black. Let's see what we get on the nose. Wow. Okay, so bourbon barrel aged. You definitely I'm picking up notes of bourbon and vanilla. I feel like that's to be expected. It's a vanilla bean stout.
Well, I mean, okay, so like when
I'm loving the bourbon now.
If you're cooking, you a lot of times with like cookies or anything like you're like baking, you use the vanilla extract, and I can like really like. I know it's vanilla bean, but
actual
vanilla reminds me of vanilla extract. That smell, which by the way is aphrodisiac apparently.
Watch out, everyone.
But I mean and definitely the bourbon. I can definitely get
a lot of bourbon. Almost like kind of just now, I really stuck my nose in and took like 3 quick like inhales to my nose.
I kind of smell oats.
Almost felt a little bit of burn.
Like oaty.
Oak or oat?
Oat. Like like oatmeal.
Yeah.
Like I can kind of smell oats on this. Like I'm really getting the vanilla.
Yeah.
Coming through and like subtle oat, and then definitely the bourbon.
Yeah. Now going to the Tayberry. I'm gonna give this one a little bit of swirl. Decent head retention for a sour. Pretty typical.
The color on this
is beautiful.
Is beautiful.
How would you describe that?
Oh man. So I mean, it's not. red. It's a light red, but I wouldn't necessarily say pink.
Rich ruby red?
Yeah.
Is that...
That's actually...
better?
Pretty good. I mean, it is very nice.
I'm trying to think of a comparison, something that kind of people would, be able to understand.
Like a radish, maybe?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like the color of a radish
like a deep
to me.
radish.
Yeah.
Red.
Mm-hmm.
Maroony.
It's not a classic red, but it's really nice.
Yeah. And then, this one, like I mentioned, the head retention was decent. Let's see what we get on the nose.
This one's going to be really good.
It sours can be deceiving on the nose. Sometimes they smell like you're going to get way more of a sour bite to them, and that doesn't end up, being the case once you actually taste it. But it does smell like this is going to have a kick.
Pretty sour.
Yeah. But it's good. Smells like berries. I love that smell. I love smelling sours.
Would you say Tayberry is a hybrid of blackberry and raspberry?
Tayberry is a hybrid of blackberry and raspberry.
I feel like I'm getting the blackberry.
It's funny. I was going to say raspberry for
me.
Yeah.
That is funny. Yeah, I don't know, because I think blackberries for me, when I'm eating blackberries, they're more, they taste more sour to me.
Really?
Yeah. And that's just kind of what I'm smelling. It reminds me of a blackberry.
Yeah. Well, so this is kind of unusual for us. We don't normally have 3 beers that we're tasting. So that's going to take up a decent amount of the time is discussing them and pairing them with the cookies. But we do, as you're probably aware, if you've watched or listened to us before, we do brewery talk. We're going to keep it a little light today because we do have so much to cover for these beers that we're very excited about. But brewery talk, we wanted to keep it fun, keep it light, something that wouldn't take up too much time so we can discuss each beer without going, boring anyone to death. So the topic today is...
Would you rather?
Would you rather?
Yep.
Yeah. So Ben and I have both thought of 2 would you rather situations that we're going to ask each other. We don't know what they are.
Nope.
So I think it'll be pretty fun. But before we dive into brewery talk today, let's try pairing number 1.
Let's do it. So what do we do?
Yeah. So I think we're going to take a sip. We're going to try the cookie. And then we're going to take another sip. And so take a sip, eat a cookie, take another sip. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so once again, just to reiterate, Black Mamba, dark ale with coffee. We're going to be pairing that with the classic Girl Scout Thin Mint. I think it's going to be good.
All right, let's do it.
Lighter on the mouthfeel than I expect, but like I said, this isn't a stout. It's a dark ale.
Yeah.
So I think that's why medium body, mouthfeel, a lot of coffee. Funny that you mentioned that the smell earlier was kind of light roast to you, because I feel like I'm getting a dark roast now.
That taste does have that dark roast taste to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Dark roast
I just think I couldn't the aroma of it, I wasn't picking up a heavy scent.
No, I 100% agree.
Yeah,
I 100% agree with your call.
But it does have that dark roast taste. It really does. It kind of, the initial thought was vanilla for me too,
really?
Like a subtle hint of vanilla in there.
I could get that, I think. Let's see how it pairs with the cookie. I mean, the cookies.
This is a dang good cookie.
Yeah.
I love this episode.
Okay, they compliment each other
so well. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Okay, so I love mint and I love coffee, and these two together.
So the mint cookie.
What in the world? That was really good.
I'm sure most people have tried the Girl Scout Thin Mint.
Oh my gosh!
But the flavor of the mint is really
strong.
Can we
always do pairings?
And lingers for a while on the palate. And so going from taking a bite of the cookie and immediately grabbing the Black Mamba and taking a sip, that mint it collaborates with the coffee and that slight vanilla note that you're picking up on. That was a beautiful combination.
I wonder if brewers, when they're coming up with ideas, I wonder if they do this. Not necessarily Girl Scout cookies, obviously, but pairings to see what works together, what flavors go together.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because a mint coffee ale, I didn't know that was something I wanted.
It's really good. I'm really glad we chose these two.
Whoa, dude, that was like shocking how good that was.
I mean, I keep having to just finish. I didn't think I was going to get through 2 cookies with this, but I might be getting through 2 cookies. I was like doing it. It was so good. And actually something interesting, I was recently reading an article interviewing brewers and how some of them, I'm sure a lot of them, but the brewers that were in the article like to go out to their local farmers markets and taste different things and go to restaurants. Actually, one topic specifically was pastry stouts, and they like to go to restaurants, out to nice restaurants, and just order everything on the dessert menu and figure out what pairs well, what can they experiment with and try and throw into their stouts. But yeah, I'm sure, like I said, I started saying they go to local farmers markets and taste the different produce and try to come up with ideas and unique new things that they can experiment with, which is really cool.
Can I ask you a would you rather now?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. So I'll ask you the would you rather, and then we'll move on to the next one after that.
Yeah, good idea.
We don't have to finish this one, obviously, by the end of the podcast. But, so, I mean, I know Robert pretty well, okay? So, and I know Robert is a deep thinker and has his opinions on certain things. And so this is kind of like a classic would you rather, but I am just very interested to hear what you say and why. So, would you rather be deaf or blind? Which one would you rather be?
You know what? For some reason, that one's easy for me.
I thought it would be.
I would much rather be blind.
Yep.
Is that what you thought?
I thought that's
okay,
what
based
you
on
would
your
say.
reaction, it was kind of like, it was like a poker face.
No,
I wasn't sure.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought you would say.
I have just such a, I mean, I think for both comes down to art. I have a huge appreciation for art visually, but I love music, which is also obviously art.
Yep.
I enjoy playing music, piano. Fun fact, I played saxophone for I think 7 years. Dabble in self-taught piano. Fiddle around on the guitar from time to time. And yeah, I just love finding new bands and listening to music and lyrics. I'm definitely into really well written lyrics. So I think that hands down, I would much rather probably lose my sight. Although coming down to it, I couldn't be able to drive.
No, there's a lot. I mean,
I could always do sign language. I might change my answer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would really miss hearing things, and then how would you feel? Would you? I don't. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna stick with my original answer, but I want to throw that. I want to throw that back at you and say, what would you pick? And then I have a tough question for you after that.
Yeah. So I definitely I don't want to get too much into it, but have such a huge appreciation for music. So, but I would rather be deaf because I would want to. I mean, it's hard, but I want to be able to see my daughter grow up.
Okay, so that was where I was going to go. So I don't have kids. And I think that life actually might be easier if I was not blind. So I would probably, go with I'd rather be deaf.
It's like Bird Box or a quiet place.
How would you feel, though, not being able to hear your daughter's laughter?
I know.
Or her first words.
That's the thought. I mean, but I was thinking of that when I asked it, and I was like,
either it's a lose-lose. That's tough. You're missing out on a huge part of life.
Yeah.
That's a really good question. I think, thinking about it, I would go with rather being deaf, despite what I originally said. Like I said, I love music and stuff, and want to be able to hear, when I do have a kid, them, but I could learn sign language, and I'd be able to drive. And there's so many more opportunities I feel like I would have if I were deaf rather than blind.
Yeah.
So I'd probably pick.
So I knew that'd be a good question.
That's a really good question. And
yeah.
It's interesting. It is. At first I was like, oh, easy, but now
it is a classic question, but there's so much to it. There's so much to think about it.
Yeah, that was a good question. I'm glad you asked that one.
Yeah,
this is a good start. Let's move on to Avery Brewing, the bourbon barrel-aged vanilla bean stout. And so we already picked up. Did we not smell this one yet?
We did.
We did?
It kind of...
Oh, yeah, that's right. Tons of vanilla.
Kind of changed on me. I mean, I was smelling a lot at the beginning. I was smelling a lot of the bourbon, but...
A little sweet.
I feel like I'm getting a ton. I know I was getting vanilla before, but I'm getting a ton of vanilla right now. Should we taste it?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. So I expected this one to have maybe more bourbon and more of a bite than it actually does. This is extremely smooth for being bourbon barrel aged and being 10.5. It's really masked, very heavy vanilla, but not to the point where it's overkill.
This has such a good mouthfeel on it.
Absolutely, this is silky.
Yeah, silky, and I love that in stouts. When one of the beers that we have reviewed before was the Socola by Bear Bottle, and
very good beer.
Yeah, this has kind of a similar mouthfeel to me as that, and I love it. It's so good. I taste a lot of vanilla too. Yeah,
tons of vanilla. I will say that since we are doing a tasting right now, one thing that if you were to do a tasting at home is to, and we're not currently taking advantage of this, is one might carry over to the other, so it might affect your taste going to the next beer. I think that's us, like Ben asking you that question and us taking that brief little break does help. Cleanse the palate a little bit. But
I can't remember. I might have been sipping on mine during while I was asking.
I took a little bit of like a couple sips early on.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
But yeah, that's just one thing to note. And I will actually, I don't think we even pointed this out, so if you're not watching and you're listening, for the Black Mamba, we're drinking out of stemless wine glasses. For the Avery Brewing Bourbon Barrel Aged Vanilla Bean Stout, we're doing tulips. And then for the sour, the kettle sour from Alvarado Street, the Tayberry, we are drinking it out of a Teku. Let's try with the cookie. Yeah.
So this is the peanut butter
cookie. Once again, the peanut butter cookie with the vanilla bean barrel aged stout. I love the peanut butter cookie.
It's so good. Wow. Oh my gosh.
These are so far 2 for 2 perfect pairings.
I mean, okay, to be fair, like Girl Scout cookies obviously have incredible cookies.
I will say though, with this specific pairing, and I was hoping for this, I honestly wasn't 100% confident, but the peanut butter and graham cracker in this cookie, if it is graham cracker, pair
it is such
perfectly with the vanilla.
I don't think I've ever done a pairing before. Oh, I've been missing out.
The vanilla mixed with the peanut butter and the chocolate, so good. Like I have to do a bite and sip again.
This is like a flavor I didn't know that I wanted. It was something I didn't know that I wanted. This is so good. Goodness gracious. These cookies are just incredible.
I mean, these pairings are incredible. Absolutely.
Yeah, that graham cracker, that peanut butter, that chocolate with that vanilla.
If you can go out and mimic this exact pairing, please do it, because you're missing out if you're not. Right off the bat, when we got the cookies and I was trying to determine which beers to purchase, went to my local bottle shop, and I had in mind stouts across the board. Even for the s'mores one, I was kind of thinking stout, but I thought it would be fun and potentially pair well doing the sour with the s'mores cookie, kind of contrasting flavors. I thought that was the cookie to go with if we were going to, spice things up a little bit. But so far, these first 2 tastings are absolutely on point.
It is unbelievable. It is so good.
How it enhances and
it's crazy.
They accent each other so well.
Food can do that. It can enhance it and
absolutely.
Gosh, yeah, it's so good.
I think it's my turn for Would You Rather.
All right.
So, this is going to get a little detailed. So, would you rather hire an elderly woman actress, go on a date with her to Froyo, to Frozen Yogurt Parlor, restaurant, Frozen Yogurt, location,
I don't know what it
is. And publicly make it known that she's your grandmother, and but you're on a date, so you have to obviously make it known that she's an actress. This isn't, I'm not trying to make it too weird, she's not your real grandmother. So you have to go out on a date with this elderly woman actress to Froyo and make it publicly known. So something like, she tells a joke and you're like, ha ha ha, oh grandma, and then start making out in front of everyone. And so you have to say it really loud, so people are looking oh, because you're making a scene by laughing so hard and saying grandma, and then you go into making out. So option 1.
Okay.
Or
I feel like anything besides that.
You have to go to an elderly home where your grandmother is actually living at the time, and you're going to do a performance, because you sing. You're going to do a performance of Anaconda by Nicki Minaj, and you have to, during that pretty raunchy song, you have to at least wink at 3 different elderly people. And it's your actual grandmother's elderly home. So she's sitting in the audience.
Like, how, dude? Like, how is that even something that came to your mind to think
It's a thing you have to choose.
Oh my
You
gosh.
have to choose.
I will choose. I think I would choose going to my actual grandma's elderly home and singing Anaconda by Nicki Minaj.
Do you know?
I don't. I don't know that song. So that helps me. That helps me, like, not know what it is, but I guess it's bad.
So it's a Nicki Minaj song, obviously I said that.
Okay, I
know.
know.
A remix on I Like Big Butt song.
Yeah.
So that's
That
like
makes
the
sense.
loop track they do.
So, okay, this is my reasoning. I know you said it was kind of like, I'm not kind of, but it's a raunchy song. But I'm going to an elderly home where these people they're in there, like, and it's
I would
sad.
love to hear you.
It's sad that they're
play
in
that
there,
kind of song.
but they're in there because they can't live on their own anymore.
Right.
So I'm sure they're not, like, I don't know, not fully paying attention, I guess. And
I'm
so,
sure, but I feel like they'd be very excited to have someone come in.
Yeah, and they'd be excited
so they'd
for
be
a performer.
Maybe they're listening
and
to it, and you have to wink at least three of the other people, like
yeah, but it might make them
a
happy.
sensual wink.
It might okay. You didn't
Okay. So no, well, that's what I meant. I thought you pick up on that, like a flirtatious, like, hey girl or hey boy, whatever you're feeling at the time, and wink at them.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I would rather do a wink than a full-on makeout with someone.
But that's not your grandma.
I know, but like, why do I have to call her grandma and make out with her? That's so. I don't want to.
That's a challenge.
Okay. I decided though. I want to sing
That's a good
Anaconda.
answer.
I want to sing Anaconda to elderly people. That's a weird quote.
That is.
I want to sing Anaconda to elderly people. Ben Weiss song.
Everything in this podcast vlog should be cut except for that scene.
The fact, like, saying, "Hey, grandma," or "Oh, grandma," and then,
You're so funny.
That's just too weird. Like, I
100% agree. I would have chosen the one too, probably.
Yeah.
No. Good answer.
Thank you.
I respect that answer.
Good question. Like, that was weird, but like, I appreciate you getting there.
Thank you.
To that point.
So, our third beer, once again, I've said this several times, it's going to be Tayberry from Alvarado Street, which is a kettle sour coming in at 5% ABV. Fun fact, they're located in Monterey. They started in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 2014?
I think it was 2013.
2013?
Yeah.
And then after that...
It was one of those years.
Yeah, John and J.C. Hill, a father and son duo, actually, I just forget what year. Father and son duo founded the brewing company, and then after that they moved to Salinas. They still have Monterey location, but they opened up in Salinas. Mm-hmm. So they have 2 locations, Monterey and Salinas. Actually, 2 locations in Monterey. 3 locations. 2 locations in Monterey, and then 1 in Salinas. So yeah, this is a kettle sour, Tayberry, a hybrid between a blackberry and a raspberry. So let's see what we get. Did we do the nose on this one yet?
We did.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just gonna smell it again though.
That's right. Yeah, I'm getting raspberry, and you said you were getting blackberry.
Mm-hmm.
Then it just smells like it's going to have quite a kick.
I'm excited to try it.
On the palate, yeah. That tastes like they used fresh berries.
This is
really good sour. I noted earlier that you can smell a sour and feel like you're going to get a crazy kick on the palate, crazy bite from, just being super sour. This is not overly sour at all.
Mm-mm.
This is perfect. Like, fresh berries with a slight bite.
Yeah. I mean, because berries in and of themselves, like, I mean, blackberries for me, and then raspberries, like, they are a bit sour. Like, they have that natural sour taste. Yeah. This is it's like fresh squeezed berries.
That's a really good description. I'm glad you said that. Yeah, it seems like
dude,
they made a.
Oh my gosh!
They went and handpicked berries.
I love you,
Tayberry. It seems to me like they went out and fresh picked berries, made a puree, and put it into a beer.
So okay, I know like people who like are first trying sours. Sometimes it's surprising how sour they are.
Right.
But I would be surprised if someone who like didn't necessarily like sours tried this and didn't like it. Because
this is one of the more...
Because like for me, like I've just recently kind of, I mean it's been a little bit now, but like gotten into sours. But this doesn't taste that sour to me.
No. And this is a really good starter one.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely. Even for for us who we've had several sours now. since we've
It's,
got into
this
the
is
sours.
so like refreshing.
Absolutely.
Too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is
a really good beer.
yeah.
Like, some sours, I try them and I really enjoy them, but I can only have so much. I can't have a full pint or anything. This one, I feel like I could.
I think I could too.
This is a really good one.
It's not overbearing at all. Should we try it with the cookie?
Please, yes. So, once again, this is going to be the s'mores cookie that we're pairing with the Tayberry. So, our contrasting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My cookie tastes like a s'more. That's
It
great.
does.
How did the Girl Scouts do it? Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. At first, I was like, oh, this is probably out of the three my least favorite.
This is actually.
By the way, before you say
I know exactly.
I have really enjoyed the first two. But then out of nowhere, like, I had the first taste, but then I really, for whatever reason, sipping the Tayberry brought out the graham cracker flavor in marshmallow that was already in my mouth so much. This is
Let me
very good.
let me just say. This is bringing me back. This is like nostalgic almost. It's like 4th of July. You're eating a berry pie. It's like you're eating a berry pie.
Absolutely. And this is like the crust.
And I can like, in the s'more itself, like the marshmallow cream, it's like whipped cream on the pie. Dude, it's like I'm eating a berry pie.
That is spot on because you have the berries. And
Go back to any summer moment. You eat
said
that berry
this is
pie.
super good. But
The graham cracker on it, that was perfect.
The graham cracker is absolutely perfect.
Dude,
it's like the crust of the pie. And then you have the marshmallows, like you said, the whipped cream. This potentially is my favorite pairing that we've done.
I'm shocked that it is.
I
didn't think of that. It would.
I was nervous about this one. I went out on a limb.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't think that the graham cracker would do this, but it's like I'm eating it's a pie. And I love pie. Oh my gosh.
This is so good. This is so
Gosh, I can't even.
And the chocolate, a little bit, I'm getting almost like a dipped berry and chocolate flavor a little bit at the very end, the tail end, and the back end.
I mean, either one of those, whether it's a pie or a dipped berry.
I could also describe this as
berry.
you make a s'more, and if you've ever had fresh jam, I've had fresh jam from berries picked out in Alaska when I was visiting. And I could imagine making a s'more and spreading some of that fresh picked berry jam onto the s'more. And that's what it would kind of be like as well. Like this is my favorite pairing.
It was my favorite too.
This is my favorite pairing, and this is the one that I was the most nervous about. This is very good. Very good beer. I mean, these across the board are very good beers. Very good cookies. Everyone knows the Girl Scouts make killer cookies. I don't think they don't make them. They sell them very well.
They do. They get you.
But yeah, this is my favorite pairing so far. And like I said, these two, the first two, I felt like were kind of obvious. Go with the stout. It's like the safe option. We went with a contrasting pairing, and it was the winner in my opinion.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Should we do the last Would You Rathers?
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Yeah, it's your turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you rather get paid pretty much nothing, but everything that you create and make and produce is just incredible? Like, it's really just incredible. Or would you rather be just set for life? Like, you get paid just a ridiculous amount of money that you don't know what to do with, but everything that you produce and create is just garbage.
That one.
You'd rather get paid?
Yeah.
A lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one.
Okay. There you go. But, okay. Because from then, though, like, after that, like, you can't create anything that's good or, like, great.
I'm trying to think of what I create. So, like, I create, like, songs on piano or something.
Yeah, and, like, I mean...
So that would be garbage.
To me, this is, like...
Not like they're great to begin with, I guess.
I mean, this is kind of, like... I think, like, what we do on our Instagram and everything, and, like, that, like, aesthetic of that, and everything.
Counts.
Like, I think what we... Like, I'm just... I know I've said this before, I'm really proud of what we put out.
Yeah.
But, like, it would just be crap, but you'd still get paid a lot for... So, that, like, that's just an example.
So both sides, it would suck to create incredible content, whether it's social media or art or whatnot.
It's like an art...
And not get paid at all or be recognized for the quality of it. but then you are creating garbage and still getting paid for it and have money.
A ton of money.
And that's a tricky one. I think I'm still going to stick with my answer. I guess.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'd rather create beautiful pieces of art and like great content for social media or whatever we do,
Mm-hmm.
and not get paid for it because I have fun doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I have fun, capturing pictures. For just this example, doing the Instagram content that we do, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I really enjoy what we do.
At Original Brew Collective.
It's fun. We really enjoy what we do, and we really try at what we do, and it is fun. And then music. I enjoy playing music, and that's really fun to me, and I think it's good. I would probably, I'd switch my answer. I would go with what I would not get paid. And
See,
just
I
have
thought
a good time and make great things.
The reason I wanted to ask is because I knew you'd have like
A conflict.
A conflict, because Robert, like with everything that we do, like as a team and everything, like cares so much about the aesthetic of everything, how everything looks, and cares about so much about how the product is and everything. And so I knew
that was a tough one for me.
I know.
Oh, good question.
See, dude, come on, man.
Touche.
But I'm glad you went with the answer you did.
Me too. Okay, so final question.
Okay.
Would you rather have all of your thoughts displayed for the public in a bubble above your head? So if you're out in public and you think something weird or inappropriate or just something you don't want shared, it appears in like almost like a thought bubble above your head, so everyone near you or around you can see it.
Okay.
Or would you rather have your entire life live streamed?
Whoa. Those are pretty similar, but not really.
But like terrible in different ways.
Yeah. Dang. Would I know that it's being live streamed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's not like the Truman Show where have you seen that movie?
I haven't followed.
So the Truman Show.
I know the concept.
Okay. So the Truman Show, he doesn't know that his life is being live streamed, but everyone's watching.
I mean, you're making the choice, and you have to live that life.
Oh, that'd be hard. That's like people that. Because I do not want to be a reality TV star.
It's worse than that.
Yeah, it's everything.
They'd see me bathroom.
They'd see me pooping.
And see your intimate moments with your significant other.
Yeah, you almost
in the bathroom.
Well, you almost couldn't have relationships,
right? Like people
unless it was someone who wanted to be a part of that because they wanted to be famous.
Chasing the clout is what the kids say these days.
The only thing that I would always think that someone was just trying to get close to me because they wanted to be famous.
Yeah.
Relationships would not be authentic. Honestly,
you also ruin relationships.
You would ruin relationships
with your thought bubble.
That's true.
Like if if I were to like,
sometimes you think weird things.
If we were hanging out and you thought something that like rude of me, or like I show up in something and like I'm like, hey, look at this new jacket, and you're like, that jacket is stupid. That hurt my feelings.
Yeah. Dude, that's really tough. I do have to pick one though.
Yeah.
I would say, like, honestly, like, I think I would go with the first one.
Okay.
I think I'd rather have the thought bubbles.
I will say, and I was going to say this in your defense on picking that one, was that if you were to think something that would not typically offend me, I'd be like, I have those thoughts about people, and like, maybe you want a jacket that I don't like, for
I just
example.
feel like your whole life,
you'd have true friends,
would just be, everything would be fake in my life.
It'd be like a reality show. You wouldn't be able to trust anyone.
No.
Yeah.
And it would just feel like everyone is just watching you at all times. You wouldn't have any privacy. Yeah, I mean.
They would be.
You wouldn't have any privacy, and I like privacy. And if I don't want people to see what I'm thinking about them, I just like want to go out that day. I don't know. That was a really good question, though.
Yeah, I'm feeling really creepy with my thoughts. I think I'm going to stay inside.
I'm not having good thoughts today. I'm going to stay home.
My thoughts are raunchy. I'm not going out.
Yeah, I don't know. So I think I'd go with the first one.
I would have picked the first one, too.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, I'm glad we picked that topic. Those were like interesting.
I know.
We
thought of pretty good ones.
4 total of our questions were very different.
Yeah, definitely.
Like really good.
Mm-hmm.
So just going back to the beers and the pairing, obviously we have a lot of beer left. 3 beers. It's kind of quite a bit to just kind of consume.
We're not
like, on the back.
We're not just trying to down beers here.
No, absolutely not. We're trying to enjoy them, and we will continue to enjoy these beers. Just a refresher, we are drinking Black Mamba, which is a dark ale with coffee from Mumford in Los Angeles, California. Then we have the barrel-aged vanilla bean stout from Avery Brewing in
Boulder, Colorado. Yep.
Yeah. And then we have Tayberry, which is a kettle sour from Alvarado Street in Monterey. And they do have the additional location in Salinas.
I would say, like, if you see these, get your hands on any of these cans.
Yeah.
They're so well worth it.
In fact, I don't know, did you say that the Black Mamba was the flagship?
Yeah, the Black Mamba is Mumford's Brewing flagship beer.
Flagship beer. Yeah, and it's a good one. Yeah. It is a little interesting because I'm not used to drinking dark ales. I don't think you are either.
No.
And so pouring it, and you expect it to be kind of like a stout. It's not. Don't expect that, but it is a very good beer. The Avery, tons of vanilla, nice bourbon notes. Not overpowering. You don't have that burn that you'd expect with being bourbon barrel aged and at 10.5 ABV. Very good beer. And the Tayberry is
so
super good as well. I mean, these are all great beers.
One of my favorite sours to date.
Yeah,
for sure.
Alvarado, they really hit it out of the park with this beer.
And I've never done pairings, and I would recommend it. It is delicious.
It's really interesting seeing how these different flavors complement each other.
I mean, food's good, beer's good. Put them together.
Yeah,
try it out.
Why not?
It's delicious.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that we're gonna keep tasting all of these incredible beers.
Yeah.
We hope that you guys do a tasting on your own. Interesting, different. Like our favorite was a contrasting tasting. We didn't know what to expect at this one. And it ended up being our favorite. So go experiment, try different beers with different food pairings.
Yeah.
Very good. We're going to keep enjoying these beers.
Yeah.
In the meantime, while we're sipping on these beers, please go follow us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Original Brew Collective, except for Twitter.
At Brew Original is our Twitter.
At Brew Original on Twitter. At Original Brew Collective on Instagram and Facebook. And then subscribe on YouTube and subscribe on the podcast. And go let us know how you feel.
Yeah, let us know if you have if there's any beers that you want to hear us review. Let us know.
Yeah, please let us know. We're always on the lookout for new beers. If you want to reach out and recommend a beer, if you want to send us a beer, well,
we could work something out.
Yeah, yeah, let us know. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna keep on sipping on. But enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.
Cheers.